Welcome back to another episode of a strange and mysterious podcast. Of course, I'm your host, G. Go ahead, Mr. Mateo.
Mateo, some people used to call me Feo. I don't agree with that. I don't think I am an ugly human being, but I am Defined 999. What up,
Definitely.
babe?
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're missing a couple people tonight, but they're here with us in spirit.
In spirit.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So tonight we have a good one. We have giant creatures filmed in the sky. So this one's going to be pretty good. All right, let's go.
Strange things often show up when you least expect it, and you never quite know when you'll be reaching for your camera to capture evidence that what you think you've seen is actually real. The following videos were all recorded by people who just so happened to be looking up when something unbelievable happened. So here are 15 mysterious giant creatures caught in the sky. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell.
I like
for
the
more
alien.
amazing videos every day. With
I
that
mean,
being
I
said,
know.
let's begin.
It looks like Josh.
Number 15.
J-Ro.
Massive creature in lightning. Thunderstorms are some of the most powerful natural phenomena on Earth and can light up a dark sky with multiple flashes of light. But could they actually be masking something far more mysterious?
Yeah.
This video was recorded by a resident who was watching a storm approach their neighborhood. They spotted two peculiar lights in the sky,
look at that.
ones that clearly weren't being caused by the storm itself, and seemed to be looking down at them. At first you might simply think, these are the lights of a plane that's coming into land, but once the storm gets more intense, you see that there's something very strange going on. A flash of lightning illuminates the sky, but instead of lighting up the region around where the lights are, it shows the shadow of a giant creature. Rather than being the lights of an airborne vehicle, it becomes worryingly clear that they are actually the glowing eyes of whatever this creature is. Could it be
like
that
one of those
mysterious
dogs
monsters
from
like these are at the
Ghostbusters.
center of all thunderstorms, where the clouds shroud their bodies?
Like
and
it's
usually
just
keep them
sitting
hidden
there
from
at
us?
attention.
How else would you explain the figure that's lit up with the lightning flash behind it? Needless to say, the person who filmed this unknown entity quickly went back indoors to let the storm pass, and luckily they were able to survive the experience to tell the tale afterward. Number 14.
What'd you think about that one, Define?
I liked it. I liked how intense it was, but the fact that the shadow of the creature didn't move, it stayed static. I don't know. My gut's telling me it could be a video editing job, like they darkened a part of the sky and created a layer. And I know because I work in software that uses layers a lot, and I just have this feeling that they like froze apart. Like maybe there were two white flashing lights that were there initially, and they froze that section of the video and then darkened this outline. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool, but I'm still
thumbs down.
Yep.
All right. You know, man, that's a hard one too, but I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna go thumbs down also. Like you're right. It almost looked like a layer. So
it was like it looked like a layer in Photoshop.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
It reeked of that video reeked of editing, some kind of editing.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, let's move on. Number 14.
Okay.
Dementor, caught on cam. The
That's
Dementors
sick.
from the Harry Potter stories were responsible for countless nightmares for kids and adults alike around the world. But luckily, they were just a work of fiction, right? Well, if these next images that were taken during an overcast day
crazy
near a
right there.
convenience store in Zambia are anything to go by, they might just be more real than you'd like to think. Residents noticed a strange formation in the sky, and as it came into view, it looked eerily similar to the Guardians of Azkaban. The images show the wispy tail behind it, a slender body, and a definite head shape. According to eyewitnesses, the monster stayed in the sky for up to 30 minutes before vanishing, but this was plenty of time to freak them all out. This wasn't the only image that was captured that day either. Another resident captured it from a
look, there's
different
another
angle,
one.
and in this image, it's just as dominant a sight in the sky as in the other one. So is this really a Dementor, or is it something else entirely? The truth is probably a lot less mysterious, as the shadowy figure seems to have strings attached to it. It's therefore believed by many to be a huge kite that's used for special
I've never felt so close to the possibility of disclosure. The Nephilim.
events, and was either being flown without people knowing about it, or has been superimposed from another image. This explanation is far from certain though, so we still can't fully count out the possibility that the Dementors are indeed watching over us and waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Number 13.
What do you think about that one, Define?
That one was better. I didn't feel like there was maybe as much editing, being that they were just snapshots. That one picture above that store, though, that I'm giving that a thumbs up. That I thought it was cool. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have been edited, but even if I don't know. I thought that one was pretty cool.
You know, I didn't see any strings attached or anything like that.
No.
And the Harry Potter thing was kind of, coincidental.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I kind of like this one too.
I like
because there was different, pictures and different angles of it, and it was pretty high up. So
Yeah.
I go thumbs up.
And it was
Double
huge.
that.
Like that thing, if that whatever cloud being or whatever was as big as what we saw, it would have been fucking sorry, I'm trying to keep from cussing. It would have been freaking huge. It would have been massive, right?
Hey, a strange and mysterious podcast does not condone
We
cussing.
don't condone
We do.
cussing. If
Please
we do,
cuss responsibly.
cuss responsibly. And not in front of your mama. Don't do it in front of your mama.
All right, let's continue.
Tornado or creature? Tornadoes are one of the last types of weather phenomenon that you'd want to encounter. But there's something worse than finding one of them, coming face to face with a group of them
That
at the
looks
same
awesome.
time. This next
That's
image
like
was taken
multiple
from a vehicle
tornado
on
tentacles.
Interstate 80 in Nevada County and shows just how ominous this can be, where there's at least
Wow.
7 converging in one
That's
place.
crazy.
That's
After seeing
nuts.
it,
Look
the
at
National
that.
Weather Service said the
That's
event referred
crazy.
to by some as a flying spaghetti monster was likely caused by a turbulent storm, but there are many who think this is just a cover-up. Instead of a series of tornadoes, could this
almost looks
actually
like
be a
an
tentacled
octopus
monster
slash
that's
bat.
reaching up towards the sky in
Yeah,
the distance?
it
What do
looks
you
like a
think?
Cthulhu.
And if you saw something like this, would you continue driving in its direction? Number
Hell
12.
no.
UFO.
Would you?
No, that what that looks like is what you've heard of the Call of Cthulhu, and the Cthulhu books.
Mhm.
The Cthulhu is kind of an octopus-ish type creature. It's got it can have wings. It can have, but the face is it's crazy. This is a thumbs up for me. That's rad. Even if that's naturally made, even if that's some accident of storm, whatever. And if I was driving towards that, I'd be a little freaked.
Hell no.
I'd be like, that's either a very interesting storm or we're about to die, right?
Hey, that spaghetti monster is about to kill us. I'm just letting you know right now.
I'm a Pastafarian. Don't kill me. I'm a Pastafarian, the flying spaghetti monster. Anyway,
I'm like, I'll turn around.
Yeah.
That shit.
We'll take a little 30-minute detour.
Hell yeah. I'm giving this a thumbs up too. I really like that. There's strange phenomenon in the air, but to catch something like this, even if it's not, paranormal, man, that is still strange.
Super cool.
No, that's still super strange.
Yeah, that's strange and mysterious, all right.
Yeah, so I'm giving it a thumbs up myself.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
All right, let's keep moving.
Distance. What do you think? And if you saw something like this, would you continue driving in its direction? Number 12.
Hail to the
UFO
no.
or creature. This unbelievable footage was captured in Quebec, Canada, and appears to show something quite unusual in
Canada,
the sky.
eh?
At first, it's no more than a shiny dot, but it soon comes down lower and looks almost metallic. Unfortunately, because it's at such a distance, the camera holder has had to zoom in a lot, so the image is quite shaky. But when it's slowed down, you can clearly see the cylinder-like object. And at one point, it appears to be heating up so much that it starts glowing red. No one has any idea for sure about what this is. It certainly isn't an aircraft, or at least one that's publicly known about, which means that it must either be a UFO, a military test, an object that's fallen to Earth from outer space, or perhaps even a giant mysterious creature. The video is believed by many ufologists to be proof of visitors to the planet, but there are so many other things that it could be, and some suggest it's actually a thunderbird, a creature of legend that has long been spoken of around Canada, and that takes the form of a huge eagle, can shoot lightning from its eyes and create storms by flapping its wings.
That's a trip.
Interestingly, after spotting this mysterious object, dark clouds soon moved in across the region, which could support this theory. What do you think? Have you seen anything like
Hell no.
The one thing that kind of gets me about this one is the colors. Look at the way the colors are, right?
Yeah.
And then look at the lights, the lights on it. At first I thought it was a balloon.
That's what I was kind of thinking it was too, but a balloon doesn't twist itself into funky shapes like that.
Yeah.
It's like a funky shape, right? Like a balloon
Right.
would be more of like a blob. This is like got sharp edges.
Yeah.
I don't
this
know,
is
man.
weird.
This is pretty striking UFO footage right here.
I agree.
This is wow. I mean, in a weird way, it almost looks like it could be almost like, in my mind, I was thinking like one of those guys in a rocket suit. You know, they have those rocket suits now, sort of like the old James Bond movie, but they got modern ones. It almost made me feel like there's like, it could be some kind of flying space suit of some sort. The other weird thing is I'm not seeing, are you seeing any kind of exhaust?
No.
Any kind
Not at
of
all.
trail, you know, like when
Hey.
an airplane flies through the sky and you get trails. I mean, it's like,
Hey, we're not talking about those brown trails from Chile, are we?
no, this wasn't the infamous
Infamous?
the infamous Chilean farting UFO. That was great. But no, this one's not farting at all, dude. This one seems dead serious.
Right?
I don't know, man. This is good footage. This is double thumbs up to me.
Oh, the double.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm giving it a double too. I like this a
Yeah,
lot.
this one's
That's a
good.
one.
This
Hey,
one's
we're
good.
moving along with just two, huh?
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah,
All right,
we
let's go.
get through more videos.
Right, let's keep going.
Like it? Are you convinced it's a mythological creature, an alien craft, or something else? Number 11.
Alien craft
Falling
is what I'm
sky
thinking.
or sky's teeth.
Bring it in,
We've all
Josh.
seen
Bring it in.
strangely shaped clouds and argued with our friends about what exactly they look like. But beyond taking on unusual formations, most
Wow.
clouds tend to behave in predictable ways. Occasionally, though, they act as if they have a mind of their own, and this video shows just how weird this phenomenon can be. Locals started noticing that a rather peculiar cloud had begun to form above their town, so started to film it, but even they couldn't have known what was about to happen. Rather than serenely floating across the sky like they usually do, parts of these clouds are flowing like water and seem to be moving with intent. Could this
Wow, look
be a
at
yet
that
to be
shit.
discovered
That's a
creature that uses
trip.
clouds as camouflage? Or is there a giant bird flying up high that's so close to the clouds that the movement of its wings is able to disturb them with quite some force? Some believe it was a sign that the sky was about to fall, while others think the truth is far simpler, that it's just an optical illusion as the
like
light
a
from the sun
circle.
is being reflected.
Yeah.
The parts that are moving have a slightly different color to the others. But have you ever seen a slightly pink cloud before during the middle of the day? So far, no one has been
Yeah.
able to explain what has been captured in this video, and until it's seen again, it'll likely remain a mystery. Number 10.
That's, I don't know. What are you thinking there, G?
Man, you know, like I get it. It's strange, definitely. But you know, with all the weather phenomenon, I can't call that one, man. I'm
That's
gonna go
a,
thumbs down. Like
that is a
it's cool, but-
clearly crazy weather phenomenon, though, where those
Yeah.
clouds look like they're forming a circle.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be. I can't say it's paranormal, and like you, I think that it's definitely could be obscure weather type phenomenon where you just have to have the perfect conditions, you know, pressure, wind speed, all that stuff. But either or, it was, again, if we're judging by strange and mysterious, that's pretty strange and mysterious to me. I'm gonna give it a midway.
middle, nice. Not the dub.
Hey,
It's
I'm
the
not a
middle.
hater. I'm
Right.
not a hater. I'm not a hater tonight.
Hey.
I forgot to take my haterade.
Hey, I do condone haterade right over here. It's delicious, by the way. Shout out to the water company.
Yeah, no haterade for me tonight.
All right, let's continue.
Shadow of a Godzilla monster.
Oh,
caught in a
look
cab.
at that.
When you're driving through
That's
a
a
storm, it's
trip.
more important than ever to keep your eyes focused firmly on the road to watch out for any dangers. But the driver who recorded this video couldn't help but be distracted by what he saw in the distance. As you can see, visibility is just a few car lengths ahead of him, but he sensed something moving to the right of him and looked over. He quickly scrambled to reposition his dash cam to record what he saw, because surely no one would believe him otherwise. In the distance, beyond the field, on the side of the road, is the shadow of a
That's
giant
too,
monster
like-
walking amongst the trees. But what could this possibly be? It looks like it's come straight out of a Godzilla movie. It has 6
Yeah.
long legs and a huge body with what looks like wings to the rear of it. The region he was driving through at the time is mainly unpopulated, and the only people who live nearby are farmers. Is it possible then that creatures like these are quite common, but because they stay away from civilization, they're rarely
No.
seen? Maybe they only ever move through open spaces during the night, or when there's a lot of cloud and mist cover to further keep themselves hidden. Until there's another
That's
sighting,
super sus.
you'll never know for sure. What do you think it is?
It's
Number 9.
edited. It's
Yeah.
edited. That's clearly a digital edit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if there were creatures like that walking around all over the place, we about them.
Yeah, I agree. That's terrible. You can definitely tell that was computer generated.
That was computer generated. It was probably a young Japanese student who's a big Godzilla fan. That was his that was his final for film class.
Hey, F.
Yeah. Well, I thought he did pretty good with the graphics. Yeah.
Hey,
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Let's keep it moving.
Thumbs down.
9. Spawn of Cthulhu. Storms on land can be torrential
Cthulhu!
enough, but it's only when you see a storm at sea that you realize how powerful and dangerous they can truly be.
Oh, I've
this
seen
video though
this
shows
footage.
something else to be concerned about.
It's been trippy?
If you're on the ocean when
It's
the clouds
trippy,
move
but
in,
I
because
think
it looks
it's-
as if a giant monster is hidden
almost
within
too
the
much.
At first it looks like a
Oh,
regular
it's almost
storm,
too
but the
much.
clouds roll
Crazy.
across the water
Look at
surface.
that.
A shadow begins to emerge. The
That's
shape of a head can be
nuts.
made.
Yeah, this
And then
this one
suddenly
I think
its giant wings
is
lift up.
definitely
It's
digitally
convincing
edited.
evidence of the existence of a mysterious sea monster, perhaps even the spawn of the legendary Cthulhu.
Oh,
Sailors
that's
throughout the
crazy. It looks like it
centuries
lifts
have
his
reported
arms
seeing
up.
gigantic
Yeah.
monsters
It's like
emerging from the waves. And
it's
these
like a
days, these
Cthulhu.
tales are so often dismissed as being the ramblings of people that have spent too long at sea or had misidentified what they were seeing. This video makes you
Wow,
wonder,
that's-
though, are there
that's
monsters
crazy.
lurking beneath
Yeah,
the
I've seen
waters
it.
that are far beyond even our wildest imagination? Or is there a more down-to-earth explanation for this? Number 8.
What do you think, Define? That's crazy.
It's awesome, but I've seen that footage before, and I think I've seen it. It was edited to kind of to do that. So,
Hey,
but I
movie
don't know
idea?
for sure. I don't know for
Movie idea? Cthulhu lives.
yeah.
Cthulhu
Cthulhu
versus Godzilla.
Well, traditionally Cthulhu would destroy Godzilla. Cthulhu is like one of the most powerful creatures ever imagined by man. It can I believe it can even rip like the fabric of space and time apart. Like,
Damn.
yeah,
He is not playing around.
It's not playing around.
Holy shit.
Anyway, go keep going.
Hey, thumbs down. Huh?
Yeah, if there was a real Cthulhu, we'd all be totally screwed. We would have been dead long ago. We wouldn't even be here.
All right, let's continue.
Face of the gods. If you've ever looked up at the clouds, you'll be all too aware of how easily you can convince yourself that they've taken on a recognizable shape. This is hardly ever the case though, and it's an optical illusion being created by your brain because it's trying to make sense of the shape that it's looking at. Sometimes though,
look
clouds
at
take
that.
on an
That's cool.
undeniable form, and experiencing this phenomenon can lead to an intensely spiritual
Damn,
experience.
look, it even looks like
That's
it's
what
got a
happened to the woman who
mustache.
filmed this
Yeah,
footage
that's-
while
that
she
looks
was
like an
watching a
Indian
large,
bust.
fluffy cloud float across the sky. As it moves, it starts to take
Look
on
at that,
various
like an
shapes,
Irishman.
each of which looks more like
Yeah,
a human
maybe.
face than the last. The nose and mouth are formed perfectly, and you can even make out the creases of the cheeks, the
Oh.
ear, the chin, and the furrowed brow. You almost expect the mouth to open and speak with
Crazy.
a booming voice, but instead, it just ominously hovers there. She became convinced that this was a supernatural
like
event
looking
and could have been
over.
the face of a god or an angel making
That's
itself
awesome.
known. There's no denying the fact that it looks like a head, and it seems almost too perfect to have been formed by random gusts of wind against a cloud. How would you explain this? Is it just a 1 in a billion fluke, or is there some deeper meaning to it? Number 7.
Ooh, that's nuts. What do you
I'm
think?
not sure. Well, I'd like there to be deeper meaning to it. I mean, in my mind, I would love that to be some wood spirit that's coming up from the planet or doing some kind of shit. But the cynic in me tells me that was just an extremely 1 in a million fluke. The clouds just kind of formed that just perfectly. But because I don't care if it was a fluke or not, it was super cool. I give it a thumbs up.
Damn, you liked it, huh?
Yep.
No, I loved it, to be honest with you. I know that it's probably not like paranormal per se, but
Yeah.
man, like, what are the chances of seeing something like that, right?
Yeah.
And to actually like videotape it,
yeah.
I
to
bet
capture
you're
it.
like, I bet you're thinking in your mind, what the hell am I seeing right now, right?
Yeah. And I'm getting it on footage. Like, that person that got that footage did great. They didn't panic. They just calmly sat there and captured it, recorded it.
Hey, with pretty decent pixelation, right? Like
Yep.
pictures.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
hey, thank you so much for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
All
the
right, let's
worst.
continue. right? When we can't see anything.
Yeah.
Massive face in the sky. As the storm rolled in over this next neighborhood, one resident couldn't help but notice that it looked more like a giant face over the landscape than an ordinary cloud. He managed to record this video as he began
look
to
at the eye.
contemplate his place in the
Yeah.
world, and it's
Both
bizarre,
eyes.
to say the least. There are two giant and
Santo.
incredibly
Se miran
well-defined
como
eyes
los
with a
ojos.
pointed nose rising up between them. The face is so large it almost looks as if it's about to begin devouring the landscape, and is oblivious to the storm raging around it. At one point, it even appears to be looking directly at the camera, and you can see the darkened coloration around its pupils. But how could you explain this? Is it the ghostly face of a giant who's looking down at us from the heavens, a spiritual entity, or the projection of someone's face from somewhere else? Make sure to let us know what you think. Number 6.
What do you think about that one?
I still think it was really super cool, but I think it was chance. I'm going to give it a sideways.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I see sideways too, because again, depending on where they're at looking at this, I mean, it looks like eyes, but maybe in a different direction, it just looks like clouds rolling, right?
Yeah, it's another one of those just perfect little everything was in place and it happens. And you can apply meaning to it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not even saying that there couldn't be some force or energy that could manifest clouds. I mean, I wouldn't even as much of a cynic as I am, I'm not going to say that that's not possible, particularly paranormal, supernatural, any of that. But in this instance, I think there's a lot of instances where people capture things and we can very easily apply a paranormal thing to it, but most likely it's just pure chance. It's just
no, I agree.
Lucky.
I think that the explanation that we were talking about, about the angles and looking at the clouds, that's all they really are for these ones, I'd say.
Yeah, they're just, you're getting lucky and they're cool. They're just not, it's not a freaking alien or something.
Pero, on to the next.
From somewhere else. Make sure to let us know what you think. Number 6.
Thanks,
the lights
Josh.
of Jesus. These next images were taken in a small coastal town called
Hey, Josh is helping us out. I
and
appreciate
revealed
it.
very
Josh
rare,
is a great
unexpected,
co-host.
and undoubtedly spiritual event that took place. A storm had formed over the sea, and the region had been subjected to an unusual amount of rainfall over the past few days.
That way,
As the clouds
Peter.
blew out over
That
the water,
way.
though, something astonishing happened. They began to break apart, and sunlight began to beam through. The shape it formed, however, has led many to believe that this was the light of Jesus. It looks as if there's a man standing there with a golden head and arms in the clouds. It looks almost identical to the Christ the Redeemer statue that looks down upon Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and everyone in the town that saw it just
That was
stood
a cool
still
statue,
to take
too.
it
I
all
like
in.
that one.
Yeah.
It seems almost impossible that this could have happened by chance, and definitely appears to have been created on purpose. Do you think this could be a sign from a higher power, or is it just an incredibly rare case of coincidence? Number 5.
It's coincidence.
Coincidence, I agree. Double thumbs down for that one.
If that was Jesus shining above whatever that Scottish town or whatever, I'm a donkey. I've got this magical donkey a few miles from here. I'll sell it to you. It's only worth $250,000. It's got these magical powers. It's a wonderful donkey.
Hey, and it comes with a jumping Mexican bean.
Yeah, it shits jumping Mexican beans. It's amazing. You're gonna want it.
Yeah, thumbs down, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
5. Angel in the sky. Have you ever seen an angel? Do you think they appear in a human-like form, or perhaps in a different way? The man who photographed
Josh.
this cloud formation in America is
We gotta get
convinced
Josh
that
on the
it's
show,
a spiritual
dude.
occurrence that
I
day.
agree.
What do you think? He was driving along the local highway in the morning, and it was a clear day with only a
that's
few
just
clouds in the
clouds,
sky.
bruh.
One formation caught his eye, though, and it appeared to be looking down on him. It looks virtually identical to the way that angels are depicted with a head, wings, and wearing a flowing dress.
I
The
tell
thing
you
that
what,
makes this so incredible,
I got a
however,
magical
is the
pig
position
I
of the
wanna
sun
sell
behind
you.
the clouds, which makes the
miles from
angel
here.
glow with sunbeams beaming
Right.
past her. Have you ever seen a structure in the sky that's anything like this? And do you think that the man that captured the image is right when he says that
Yes,
this is
I have.
clearly something much more than a mere
Especially
optical
when you're
illusion?
drinking.
Number 4.
Yeah. Josh, hold on a second, Josh. I like your wings, Josh.
Hey. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again.
Dude, we have lost so many viewers at this point. They're like, we don't know where the guests are talking about. I think that they're saying that the person they're talking about is an alien, right? I'm just like, okay, Josh, give us 4.
On to the next.
Sound of the end of time. Sounds come from all around us, and depending on where you live, you may never really know what true silence sounds like. The noises that we hear regularly are filtered out by our brains.
He's like,
and
what the
exist
fuck?
in the background.
Let me
like
sleep.
the rumble of the morning train that passes your house, or the roar of a plane in the sky. However, with the power of the internet, people have begun to realize that there are mysterious sounds heard all over the world, all of which are equally as mystifying and seem to be heralding a major event. Reports of a trumpeting noise echoing from the heavens have been made as far apart as
Yeah, there's
Michigan
been a lot
and
of
Sweden,
trumpets
while
in the
other
air.
bizarre
I've
tones have been
heard of
heard
that.
in Canada, across Europe, and in Australia. But what could possibly be causing this to happen? Some have suggested it's proof of a large environmental weapon that's being tested by an unknown nation's military, while others think it's a
Great.
message from above that's warning us to change our ways, or else we'll face our judgment. Reports of this phenomenon were quite scarce at first, but now they're becoming increasingly regular. Could it be counting down to a final event? Or are people now so better connected that they're able to share their experiences more
Oh, look,
easily?
she's
Have
putting
you ever
herself
heard
in a
one of these
coffin.
strange noises?
That
If
sounds
so,
fun.
how did you feel when it
Hey,
happened?
she's
Do you
dead
have any
serious?
explanation for what it might be?
She
Here's
is
to hoping it's
dead
something far less
serious right there.
cataclysmic than some have begun to believe.
Hey, I
Number
want to
3.
hear the hum. What the
I
heck?
know. There was
What the
no
heck
hum
was
there.
that?
There was no hum. That was terrible.
Dude, that's more than a double thumbs down. That's thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down.
4 thumbs down, Peter.
I mean, I guess the guy thought that with his smooth British sexy voice that was going to be appealing to me. No, dude, I'm not here for you. I wanted to hear the hum.
Hey, poppycock. That's all that was. Poppycock.
Yeah, crikey, that's ridiculous.
All right, jolly good. On to the next.
That was
Black hole in Norway. In 2009, residents in Norway were beginning to settle down for the night when suddenly they noticed a strange object in the sky. One quick-thinking witness managed to get their camera in time to record it, and it's truly inexplicable. It looks as if there's a beam of light pointed towards the sky, and at the end of it is a swirling spiral. Unlike any natural phenomenon that's ever been described on Earth before, the ominous blue lights were captured from a variety of angles throughout the region and looked like a portal opening up from another world. Authorities
cool.
stepped in to try and
That is
reassure
cool.
people once the images were shared, though, and said that it was the result of a missile test. The thing is, this only worried people further. Many didn't believe the official explanation, and even those that did were forced to ask quite what kind of a weapon would result in this happening. The light vanished later that evening and hasn't been seen
almost looks
since.
like a galaxy.
Even though it happened more than 10 years ago,
Yeah.
it deeply affected many of those that saw it in real life. And despite their ongoing quest for answers, nothing further than the military's response that day has ever been released. What do you think it is? Do you believe the official story, or has there been an attempt to cover up something that we weren't meant to see? Number
that
2.
doesn't look like a
UFO
that doesn't
hand.
look like
What?
a missile test to me.
Yeah, you know, it is strange because, like, what missile would just keep going in a circle?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that for sure. And 2,
Yeah, I don't know.
2, I'm sketchy with the videos too, a little bit too, but I don't know. This one intrigues me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, again, like, I remember when this came out and they said it was a missile test.
Mhm.
I don't know. I like I said, I'm not like an expert on missiles, but to me, it doesn't make sense that a missile would just keep spinning in the air, right? Like it would
No,
like
it's
fire and
too-
then drop down.
It's like too perfect. That's
Yeah.
no freaking missile. No missile exhaust or smoke trails or anything are gonna form these perfect little bands. That's why it's either altered or someone. I mean, you know what could be though?
Hmm.
Do you see how there's like a light shining to it?
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was that this could have been projected. Maybe some new technology
like-
with
like some,
lasers.
Are you talking about like some Project Bluebeam? Are you familiar with that?
I'm not, but some kind of projection,
Mhm.
maybe using lasers or whatnot, or maybe it was like the sky, they were heating up the particles in a way.
Mhm.
But that ain't no missile exhaust at all.
Yeah, like Project Bluebeam was a project from the government
Uh-huh.
that they wanted to fake a alien invasion, right?
Uh-huh.
Like they were classified, and this is what the project was for. And basically it was basically advanced projection systems using lights, right?
Uh-huh.
And so that's what they were trying to accomplish in the future. And so some of these, creatures caught in the sky, maybe was the government trying to, use Project Blue Book. So, but I don't, again, it's all, speculation.
Because see, the thing is, if you could project using lasers into a wide enough space, you might be able to heat up the air around it, or somehow. I mean, it seems feasible that there would be technology where you could use large amounts of energy to project these huge spaces, right?
Yeah.
Unlike anything we've ever seen before. And if you can do that, and you can dictate what you project, you can have a lot of power. Imagine projecting something in front of an army, or Jesus, or like say you're dealing with Chinese and they think 7 is an unlucky number or something, and the military can, right before the battle, can somehow project an unlucky number or something. Just psyops, man. It's just psyops.
You're absolutely right. And nowadays there's a company out there's a couple companies working on advanced holographic, and I really think that that's the future, right? The holographs. And so
definitely know. I think it sounds to me like this is a psyops thing. But I know it ain't no missile. That's a for sure thing. This is a thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up.
Number 2. The person who recorded this footage said that they felt a strange compulsion to begin filming.
Check that out.
And they're probably very glad they did after.
Hell is that?
Amongst the dark clouds, a beacon of light reaches up.
It looks like
almost
a
like a hand reaching up to heaven. As the image becomes clearer,
are we sure that's a hand and not a penis?
A hand
of
is
some
reaching
sort?
down from the sky and have picked up whatever the shining object is. Ever since these images were released a few years ago, there's been fierce debate as to what's been seen. There are some suggesting that it's a form of lightning, but the flash stayed there for far longer than any known electrical discharges. Others can't make up their mind about whether it's something propelling itself up towards the sky or something physically lifting it up.
That's like some Thor shit right there.
It even looks like a vessel of some
weird.
sort. So, could the bright light have been caused by the powerful engines that will be needed to take it out of the Earth's atmosphere? As this is something that's never been seen or described before, it's impossible to know for certain based solely on this footage. What do you think it is? Is it simply an unusual phenomenon where light is being reflected off surrounding objects, or is there something more?
I don't know. Then it's traveling up.
Make sure to let us know your opinion in the comments section below. Number 1.
I mean, look at the color, and then look how it's traveling, like up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like this one. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, this is a 2 thumbs up. Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, that's nuts. All right, we ready for number 1?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what 1 is.
Yay. All right, let's go.
As this is something that's never been seen or described before, it's impossible to know for certain based solely on their equipment. In the comments section below. Number 1.
Number 1, let's go.
A plane. Airplanes have to accelerate to fast speeds to be able to generate enough lift to take off into the sky, and they're equipped with powerful engines to enable them to stay there. This means that they're by far the fastest moving objects in the air and move much faster than any birds, fact that makes this video all the more amazing. The person recording it is an avid plane spotter and was filming the jet in the same way that he always does. On this occasion, however, he noticed something peculiar. If you look behind the aircraft, you'll see a mysterious black object, and incredibly, it begins to accelerate to be level with the plane and then passes it. It can't be a vehicle because it has none of the design features it would need to stay at altitude. So the only logical way to explain this is that it's an animal of some sort. But what could possibly be flying so fast through the sky? Any proof of the existence of a previously unknown bird that can fly much faster than anything possible? Or is it simply an optical illusion, such as a bug that's flying through the air much closer to the camera than the plane is? What do you think?
Maybe.
Which of these did you find to be the most mysterious?
I don't know. To me, it looks like a Tic Tac.
Yeah, which we've heard of other UFOs being Tic Tac in shape.
Yeah.
So if they're Tic Tac in shape,
in New Mexico, the most famous Tic Tac UFO was in Socorro, New Mexico. Are you familiar with that story?
I think I'd heard of it. Yes, but remind me.
So there was a police officer in the 1960s, and he saw this, UFO kind of like float down. And so he went over to go check it out. And, he called it in and everything. And sure enough, there was like this white Tic Tac with these like alien creatures walking outside. And when he went closer, they saw him and they went back into the Tic Tac and lifted up. And that was as they were lifting back up, they burnt some of the area, right? Some of the trees and some of the brushes that were there. And it left physical evidence, which is super rare, right?
Yeah.
Of where the landing of that craft was, and then the burning on top of the leaves. And so it was so important that one of the very famous scientists from Project Blue Book came, and he actually took a look at the evidence, right? Which is very rare to have physical UFO evidence. And again, New Mexico is just full of UFOs.
And it's remote. Socorro is real remote, man.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty famous UFO sighting.
Huh. Yeah, I that ain't no bird. That isn't a bird. Is it an insect that's somehow doing a depth of field trick? It's possible. But I think I tend to put this in the unidentified, an actual UFO for sure. I give it a double thumbs up. I mean, it's hauling butt too. You know,
I agree with you. I think it's 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
definitely. You know, the way that it was speeding by that airplane, it can't be a bird. Birds don't fly that fast.
No,
and
no
bugs maybe, but man, not the way that this is going. I would give it definitely. All right, so let's see here. Let me go ahead and stop share real fast, and we'll come back to our front screen. All right, so what are your final thoughts on these giant creatures in the sky? Define.
Final thoughts are UFOs are real, and UFOs are with us, and Cthulhu type creatures are probably less likely to be with us. And I would say that angels or Jesus coming down through the clouds, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that walking type, like that one big video creature that we saw. I think that basically the point that I'm getting at is that I think there was like maybe 2 or 3 actual UFO type videos that were the real deal. Now there were some really neat phenomenon.
I agree.
Some of the other cool, but I think it's always with those UFOs, man. UFOs and some of these videos that we see from the paranormal side that really, really get my juices flowing. So this was fun. Keep your camera, keep stuff at your ready. You know, you see something crazy, or you want to do something crazy. Maybe you're a magician, a witch, a warlock, or something, and you want to do a spell for the holidays, and you want to record it for us. Send it in.
Send it in so we can check it out.
We'll show it on the show. You're a stranger that's got magical powers. Contact us.
Definitely, I agree. Please let us know. Send us a message or leave it in the comments, and we'll definitely do a reaction video to it.
Oh, I promise you we will. Define 999 out.
All right. So my final thoughts. My favorite that I saw, or that we saw tonight, was definitely the UFO at the end and that lightning. I think those 2 right there were spectacular. Yeah. Just the UFO, how it sped past that airplane really quick.
Yeah. In
my opinion, there's nothing like that we have, whether it's an animal or technology that can do something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then it
was pretty good footage.
And then the lightning that was traveling up,
that
looked like the mushroom tip.
That was a tip, all right. Just the tip. Just the tip.
And a little sparkle at the end. Huh? But that video I really liked a lot. I thought how the lightning was coming straight up. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
So definitely those are my final thoughts, final words.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's been episode. Hey, that's been episode 15. We're missing 2 of our people, but they're here in our spirits. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.
Later.
Salute.